Jesus, was that wild, guys? Guys? Oh, that headache is definitely a concussion, not a hangover. Okay, what happened? Was at the Stellarch's party, there was that chick, the plug showed up. Oh! So you were the sole survivor of a space crash? Long story. Pretty sure it was technically just a normal crash, and I'm pretty confident that I was the only one on that ship. That was a frigate-class vessel, Rufus. It would have taken at least a dozen people to get it off the flight deck. Well, that's probably why it crashed.
You idiot. Why is Chuck Finley typing "It's 2020, get a mic"?
He muted himself and can't figure out how to turn it back on.
So, how do you get back home, Rufus? How indeed. After shaking off my post-rager hangover and taking a look around, I quickly determined that this was not a planet I wanted to be on. Luckily, that AI hooked up with at the party told me to hang tight and that help was on the way. Using my expert survival skills, I began making arrangements to ensure my continued badass existence. Good thing they taught us carpentry and rocket science early on in arts and crafts class. You know, before you started skipping. Yeah, I just needed to learn the important bits before I left. Is that why you started ditching health ed after we learned about female biology? Yeah, but anyway, after getting situated, I went for my usual 1 p.m. nap until I realized something. I had no food. Panicked, I tried to pick some local berries, but was cursed by my hubris. Years of being alone had caused me to develop carpal tunnel, and my $1 million whore of a pair of hands could not grasp the tiny sources of nutrients to save my life. Luckily, randomly, a wandering group of tribesmen came by just in the nick of time, loaded with food. Since early American history was the other class I went to before I realized that school just wasn't worth it, I knew exactly how to deal with these people. After some fair and equitable trade deals,
the worst trade deal maybe ever signed anywhere, but certainly ever signed in this country,
I was totally gonna start working then and there, but unfortunately said trade deal took all day to complete because all of them only spoke Spanish. The next day I was treated to more visitors as I found out I had crashed on and set up next to the Rimworld equivalent of the Silk Road. I also found out that the only language spoken on this entire planet was Spanish. After discovering that I was rather good at charades, a passing doctor cured my carpal tunnel. It's apparently a common problem on this planet, you shouldn't judge. And then I convinced someone to teach me how to farm. Things were finally getting sustainable, but there was just getting to be so much to do. I really must have someone looking out for me up there, because the very next day a wild man came wandering close to my colony. So I tamed him. He decided his name would be Anashirawan, but I like Sebastian more. You tamed a human? Yeah. How does one tame a human? Well, I just kept feeding him berries until he started following me.
What, you just had like a pet person walking around your house?
No, dude. I wanted him to do stuff, so I had to, teach him English first, so then I could teach him how to farm and, roll me joints and stuff. You taught him English on a planet where everyone only speaks Spanish.
Idiot.
Wait, did you say roll you joints?
Turns out, Sebastian was really good at farming, and after I taught him, really good at rolling joints too. In fact, Sebastian was pretty much good at everything. He could manage the entire colony by himself. Since Sebastian was such a competent employee and help was already on the way, all I had to do was wait. Wait, this isn't weed. I don't remember much after that. It was like deja vu. My home destroyed, Sebastian was nowhere to be seen. There was no trace of him. With all of our supplies gone, I thought all hope was lost. But then, in the sky, I saw my salvation. Bay had pulled through. A dropship had arrived to pick me up. I made it. I boarded the ship and made my way into the vast reaches of space. After boarding the ship, however, my vibe was immediately killed. Turns out the AI babe was not in fact single like she probably told me, and I had just walked right into her boyfriend's revenge trap. After taking over the controls of the ship, he flew me out into even more of a galactic backwater and blew up my warp drive, stranded me in some random sector of the galaxy.
This is why we don't bring you to parties anymore, Rufus.
Come on, how was I supposed to know AIs could be in relationships? I didn't even know you could feel the warm embrace of a 64-core Ryzen Threadripper CPU until I met her.
Okay, but how did you get home then?
Ah yes, the part 2 to this tale. Sadly, I'm coming down from my high right now, so that's gonna have to wait until next time.